Hi everyone, we're continuing with the IELTS preparation series. This time we're going to start with the speaking section. This is the last section that we're going to cover. In this video, I'm only going to give you an overview of the speaking section. So we're just going to talk about the general aspects of the section and the structure. And in the following video, we're going to see the specific question types. So, what are general aspects of the speaking section from the IELTS? This section consists of 3 tasks. The first task is going to be an interview that is going to last from 4 to 5 minutes. The second task is going to be a presentation plus questions and answers. So it's going to be a presentation. They're going to give you a topic, and then you're going to have to talk about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. And then they're going to ask you questions related to the same topic. And this second task is going to last from 3 to 4 minutes. And the last task is going to be a discussion, which is very similar to the first interview. This discussion is going to be about the same or similar topics than the presentation. And this is going to last from 4 to 5 minutes. The whole speaking section altogether is going to last from 14 to 17 minutes. Remember that the speaking section is an interview with a real human being. So you will be talking with another human being for the whole set. So you don't have to worry about a program recording your voice the way you do in the TOEFL. So there will be always someone there to redirect. Okay, some principles they have to follow for the speaking section. You have to answer the specific question. I have stressed the word specific before in the previous videos. If you have seen the TOEFL video series, you may have seen that I also stress this for the TOEFL. It's very important to answer the specific questions. This is very important. I'm going to repeat this in the following video too. But if you don't understand the question, since you are there with another human being, you can always ask to clarify, okay? You always want to make sure you have actually understood the question instead of just assuming and then going ahead and answer a different question. So always clarify. And another principle is you want to provide reasons and examples when you're required to do so. Okay, things we want to do. We want to listen to the question carefully. Again, this is very important. You don't want to answer the incorrect question. You also want to make sure that you are actually answering the exact question that they're asking from you. You want to ask if you don't understand something. This is very important. Don't assume that you know something if you don't know. And it's better to ask than to just assume and then be wrong about that. You have to be specific. Again, if they ask you, let's say, what is your hometown like? You want to talk about your hometown, not about your whole country, not about the world as it is. You want to talk about the very specific thing that they're asking you. You want to lie if it's necessary. For example, they may ask you, what is your favorite book? And maybe you don't like to read, okay? It's not bad that you don't like to read. So maybe you don't want to say that you don't like to read. Maybe you just want to continue with the question. Just lie, okay? Of course, you want to lie within a range, okay? You don't want to give an outlandish lie that you won't be able to support in the future for the follow-up questions. So maybe if you don't read and you have never read a full book, then just don't lie, don't say anything. But maybe if you just don't have a favorite book because you don't like to read, but you have read or you have watched a movie about the book, then maybe you can just say it and then just continue with the same. Okay, so don't worry about that. And remember, you want to speak clearly and use a wide range of vocabulary. Again, they don't really care about the accent, which means it doesn't really matter if you have an accent from your native language, but you still want to speak clearly. Like, as long as they can understand it, that's good. Okay, things you don't want to do. Don't stop if you make a mistake. Don't freak out. Don't blank. Don't just continue and move on. Okay, don't leave unanswered questions. I know this is kind of weird because then there's another human being in front of you. But if you don't know a question, don't just linger on the answer forever. You want to have to learn to just answer everything. If you don't know, you can say you don't know. If you don't have a favorite book and you don't want to lie, I know I told you to lie if it's necessary, but if you cannot just think of a lie, just say, I don't have a favorite book, okay? I mean, whatever they ask you, don't freak out, just answer naturally. Don't pretend you have understood if you haven't. This is very important. Again, if you don't understand something, ask, okay? Don't pretend that you have understood because that may create more problems. And don't linger on questions. This is something we do all the time. I probably do this in these videos too. It's like you're talking about something and then you start lingering on the question. So you say, they ask you, who was your favorite teacher when you were growing up? And then you say, okay, my favorite teacher, and then you do not fully let go of the answer, and then you fully continue with your answer, right? So that's linger on the questions. Or maybe sometimes you already answer and then you start going in circles. So you say, okay, my favorite teacher was my math teacher, Mrs. Robinson, because she really encouraged me to solve problems in a distinctive way. And then you say, and Mrs. Robinson was really, really a good teacher and she really encouraged me. And then you start going in circles, like going over and over the same thing that you already said. Okay. Again, this is something that is usually product of just being nervous about the answer. So the more you practice giving answers, the less you're going to make these type of mistakes. Okay, recommended material. I recommend that you take full practice questions. Just go ahead and practice the full speaking section. You can watch videos on YouTube. You can watch videos online. I do recommend to get a speaking partner or be part of a speaking group. If you can't get a tutor, get a tutor. But if you cannot, you don't have to get a tutor. You just have to practice speaking with someone. Now, it's preferable that you practice with someone who's also taking the IELTS, so, or maybe even the TOEFL. So that way you will both have motivation to review the mistakes, because the mistakes that you may find in your speaking partner are the mistakes that are going to be useful for both you and your speaking partner. Okay, I probably make a video about how to work with a speaking partner, but basically you just want to practice. You pretty much role play that you're an interviewer, then you write down the possible mistakes, and then you switch roles. Okay, this is it for the speaking overview. The following video will be the speaking strategy and question types. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and write any doubts that you may have in the comments. I'll sure answer them. Okay, bye.